Imagine a place within you that remains calm and steady, no matter the waves that come from the outside world. This place exists, it is your own inner sanctuary. When we face emotional attachments or the challenge of letting someone go, we must return to this calm center, grounding ourselves and finding peace from within. Today, let's explore 5 powerful steps to help us emotionally detach, to release with grace, and to heal deeply. Within each of us lies an extraordinary depth of inner strength, a strength that is sometimes quiet, sometimes fierce, but always there waiting to be called upon. It's the part of us that can withstand life's ups and downs, the piece of our spirit that remains resilient even in challenging moments. Acknowledging this strength is about going inward, recognizing that there is something within you that is solid, unbreakable, and ready to support you through anything life brings. But often in times of struggle or attachment, we forget this strength, thinking we need someone else to make us feel whole or safe. We look outside ourselves for validation or comfort, not realizing that the truest comfort and deepest validation lie within. To acknowledge your inner strength is to turn inward and see yourself for who you truly are, a person capable of handling more than you may realize. One of the most powerful steps you can take on this journey is to reflect on everything you have already been through. Think back to past challenges, situations you believed you wouldn't overcome, moments where you felt lost, heartbroken, or overwhelmed. And yet, here you are. You have made it through each of those moments, whether they seemed impossible or just difficult. You are still standing, still moving forward, and there is a reason for that. That reason is the strength within you that has carried you through. Sometimes we tend to diminish our past achievements, but by looking at our journey honestly, we see the resilience we already possess. Every experience, every trial has been a part of the process of building and reinforcing this inner foundation. The strength within you does not need to be loud or forceful. Sometimes it shows up as a quiet confidence or an unwavering resolve to keep going, no matter the circumstances. We often think of strength as something visible and obvious, but it's equally present in moments when we feel vulnerable, uncertain, or even afraid. Strength can show up as a gentle reminder that you are capable and that you can handle what lies ahead. It's there when you choose not to give up, when you allow yourself to feel deeply and still find a way to move forward. Strength is present when you make the decision to prioritize yourself, to honor your boundaries, or to let go of what is no longer serving you, even if that choice feels difficult. To truly acknowledge this inner strength, take time to get to know it. Spend a few quiet moments every day in reflection, turning your awareness inward. In these moments, remind yourself that you have everything you need within you. Your inner strength is a resource you can tap into whenever you need. The more you recognize it, the more you'll feel its presence in your life. This is not something you need to create from scratch. It already exists within you, like a well of resilience, patience, and courage. Sometimes simply sitting with yourself in silence and remembering this truth is enough to reignite your sense of personal power. Inner strength also allows us to embrace change, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. Life is filled with cycles, beginnings and endings, and often the natural rhythm of life involves letting go and making space for new experiences. When we become too attached to specific people or situations, we can start to lose touch with our sense of independence, our ability to stand firm on our own. But by remembering our inner strength, we gain the courage to release what no longer serves us. We stop clinging to the illusion of security outside ourselves and instead root ourselves in the unshakable foundation within. This process of letting go can be an act of profound self-trust. When you acknowledge that you are strong enough to face life's transitions, you empower yourself to make choices that align with your highest good rather than choices made out of fear or dependence. Trusting yourself, knowing you have a well of resilience to draw from, gives you a sense of freedom and autonomy that cannot be shaken by outside circumstances. In this way, strength and freedom go hand in hand. When you know you can rely on yourself, you become free from the need for others to fill any void within. Ultimately, acknowledging your inner strength is a deeply compassionate act. It's about being gentle with yourself, recognizing that you are human, that life will have its twists and turns, and that you don't need to have it all figured out to keep moving forward. Even in moments when you feel unsure or unsteady, your strength is there to carry you through. This is not a strength you need to prove or display to others. It's a personal, intimate connection with your own capacity to endure, to grow, and to thrive. In honoring this part of yourself, you give yourself the gift of self-reliance, self-love, and unshakable peace. No one else can give this to you, and no one can take it away. Your inner strength is yours alone, a sacred source of power and resilience that is always available to you. Each time you acknowledge this strength, you reinforce it, allowing it to guide you as you let go of what no longer aligns with your path and step confidently into the future, knowing that you are and always have been enough. Releasing the need for control can be one of the most freeing yet challenging shifts we can make in our lives. The impulse to control often arises from a desire to feel safe, stable, or certain about what lies ahead. We want assurance that things will go as we hope, that people will act as we wish, and that life will fall into place according to our plans. This need for control is rooted in a natural human tendency to avoid discomfort and protect ourselves from the unknown. But holding tightly to control can create its own form of suffering, as life often resists our attempts to shape it precisely to our desires. When we release the need for control, we are not giving up on our goals, values, or dreams. Instead, we are freeing ourselves from the constant tension and anxiety that arise from trying to force outcomes or bend situations to fit our expectations. This release is a profound act of trust, trusting in the flow of life, in our own resilience, and in the understanding that we can handle whatever comes our way. It's a step toward recognizing that while we can influence many aspects of our lives, we cannot and should not attempt to control everything. Letting go of control creates space for the unexpected, the new, and even the miraculous. One way to begin releasing control is by understanding and accepting that uncertainty is a natural part of life. The more we resist uncertainty, the more anxious and tense we become. Embracing uncertainty does not mean abandoning our intentions or desires. It simply means allowing life to unfold without trying to manipulate every detail. It means meeting the unknown with a sense of openness rather than fear, and choosing to believe that we are capable of facing whatever comes our way. Each time we resist the urge to control, we build a little more confidence in our ability to flow with life instead of fighting against it. Another essential aspect of releasing control is recognizing where we have influence and where we don't. We can control our actions, thoughts, and responses, but we cannot control the actions, thoughts, or feelings of others. Trying to control other people, whether to make them act a certain way, think a certain way, or feel a certain way, often leads to frustration and disappointment. People are on their own journeys, learning their own lessons. The more we let go of the desire to change others, the more peaceful our interactions become, and the more energy we have to invest in our own growth. By releasing control over others, we allow ourselves to develop deeper, more authentic relationships based on acceptance rather than expectation. Practicing acceptance is a powerful way to ease our grip on control. Acceptance is not passive or weak. It is an active choice to recognize reality as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. When we accept the present moment without judgment, we find that we can approach situations with greater clarity and compassion. Acceptance doesn't mean we have to like everything as it is or resign ourselves to a situation we don't enjoy. It simply means acknowledging what is true right now, which frees us from the constant mental resistance that drains our energy and clouds our vision. Through acceptance, we can then decide how best to respond from a place of calm, rather than control. To release the need for control, we can also practice gratitude for the present moment. Gratitude brings us into a state of appreciation for what is rather than focusing on what we wish would happen. When we take time to notice and feel grateful for what is already here, our need to control tends to soften. Gratitude reminds us that in this moment we have enough. We are enough. We don't need to constantly grasp for something more or different. This shift in perspective can create a sense of contentment and peace, making it easier to trust that life will bring us what we need. A powerful technique for letting go of control is to visualize releasing. Imagine holding a tightly closed fist, representing your desire to control. Then visualize slowly opening that fist, letting go of whatever you're holding on to. Feel the tension melt away as you release. This simple exercise can be a reminder that you have the power to let go, that you can choose to stop clinging to certain outcomes. With each release, you become lighter, more open to the flow of life. Finally, remember that releasing control is an ongoing practice. It's not something you do once and then forget. Each day, life will present moments where you can choose to let go of control or cling more tightly. As you continue to practice letting go, you may notice that peace becomes more natural, that your resilience grows, and that your ability to handle life's changes increases. You may even come to see that by releasing control, you gain something far more valuable, a sense of inner freedom and an openness to whatever the journey brings. By releasing control, we open the door to a life that feels more expansive and fulfilling. We become more adaptable, more open to possibilities we hadn't considered, and more accepting of ourselves and others. Life becomes less about striving to fit a rigid plan and more about flowing with a rhythm that feels aligned with who we are at our core. And in this flow, we find that we are supported, capable, and strong, not because we are controlling every detail, but because we are allowing life to unfold as it will, trusting in our ability to grow and thrive with every twist and turn. Staying present is a practice that invites us to be fully engaged in the here and now, experiencing life with clarity, awareness, and intention. Often we find ourselves lost in thoughts about the past or the future, rehashing what has already happened or worrying about what is yet to come. While both the past and the future have their places, the only moment we truly have is the one we are in right now. Staying present is about cultivating the ability to return to this moment, to be mindful of what's happening around and within us, and to experience life more richly, free from the weight of distraction or preoccupation. When we stay present, we give ourselves the gift of truly experiencing life as it unfolds. This doesn't mean that every moment will be filled with excitement or joy. It means that we allow ourselves to witness each experience fully, whether it's joyful, challenging, or neutral. In this way, we create a space for acceptance and presence, engaging with life as it is rather than how we wish it to be. We learn to appreciate the subtleties of each moment, the warmth of sunlight on our skin, the taste of a meal, the sound of laughter, rather than rushing through life, always reaching for the next thing. One of the biggest obstacles to staying present is our mind's tendency to dwell on the past. Memories can have a powerful hold over us, whether they bring up feelings of regret, nostalgia, or unresolved pain. While reflecting on our past can offer valuable lessons, dwelling too long can keep us stuck in patterns that prevent us from fully embracing the now. Staying present encourages us to honor our past without becoming captive to it. Instead of letting old stories define who we are today, we can choose to show up in each moment with openness and curiosity, allowing ourselves to grow beyond past limitations. Similarly, our mind's habit of projecting into the future can pull us away from the present. We may find ourselves worrying about what might happen, planning endlessly, or trying to predict outcomes to feel a sense of control. While planning can be practical, excessive worry about the future often keeps us trapped in fear and anxiety. By focusing on what is happening in this moment, we free ourselves from the weight of what-ifs and allow ourselves to face challenges as they arise, rather than carrying a constant load of anticipatory stress. A powerful way to stay present is through mindfulness, which is the practice of bringing our attention to the here and now without judgment. Mindfulness can be practiced in any situation. It might be as simple as noticing the sensations of your breath, tuning into the physical sensations of your body, or observing your surroundings. Each time we bring our attention back to the present, we strengthen our ability to live with awareness. Mindfulness allows us to become more connected to ourselves, our environment, and others, fostering a sense of groundedness and calm that can be deeply reassuring amidst the busyness of life. Breath awareness is one of the simplest yet most powerful tools for staying present. Our breath is always with us, serving as a gentle reminder of the now. By bringing attention to the rhythm of our breath, we anchor ourselves in the present, drawing our focus away from the racing thoughts and bringing it back to a state of calm awareness. Simply taking a few slow, deep breaths can help ground us, allowing us to approach each moment with more clarity and calmness. It's a reminder that no matter where our mind has wandered, we can always return to our breath, to the present, and find peace. Engaging fully with the present moment also means connecting more deeply with our senses. When we consciously notice what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, we become more alive to the richness of each experience. For instance, savoring the taste of a meal rather than eating in haste, or noticing the vibrant colors of nature around us as we walk outside, brings us into a state of appreciation and awareness. Our senses are like portals to the present, drawing us back into direct experience rather than keeping us in the abstract world of thoughts. Another essential aspect of staying present is learning to embrace the moment without judgment. Often we judge our experiences as good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, and this judgment can prevent us from fully engaging with what is actually happening. When we learn to experience life without labeling every moment, we create space for acceptance. We begin to see each moment as part of the larger tapestry of life, a piece of our journey, even if it's challenging or uncomfortable. Through non-judgment, we allow ourselves to experience life in a more authentic way, free from the constraints of preconceived ideas or expectations. Practicing gratitude is also a powerful way to stay present. When we take time to acknowledge and appreciate the good in our lives, we become more grounded in the here and now. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, reminding us of the blessings we might overlook in our everyday lives. Each moment becomes an opportunity to feel grateful, whether for something simple like a kind word, a beautiful sunset, or a comforting cup of tea. Gratitude helps us see each moment as a gift, encouraging us to slow down and truly appreciate what we have. Ultimately, staying present is about deepening our relationship with life. It invites us to live more authentically, to experience each moment fully, and to find peace in simply being rather than constantly striving or yearning for something more. By staying present, we discover that the richness of life lies not in our endless to-do lists or future goals, but in the quiet, precious moments that make up each day. We begin to see that every breath, every interaction, and every experience has value, offering us the chance to connect more deeply with ourselves and with the world around us. Through this practice, we cultivate a life filled with awareness, peace, and a sense of fulfillment that can only be found in the present. Practicing loving kindness is an invitation to cultivate a compassionate and open heart, allowing us to connect with ourselves and others on a profound level. Loving kindness, often referred to as Buddhist tradition, is a form of love that is unconditional and selfless. It doesn't depend on someone else's actions or characteristics, nor does it require anything in return. Loving kindness is a wellspring of positive regard, empathy, and genuine care for others, and it includes ourselves within its embrace. When we practice loving kindness, we nurture a sense of warmth and openness that becomes a guiding light in our lives, transforming the way we relate to the world and to ourselves. The first step in cultivating loving kindness is to direct it toward ourselves. Often we are our own harshest critics, carrying around judgments, regrets, and unmet expectations. These inner voices can make it difficult to experience true compassion for ourselves. Practicing loving kindness toward ourselves means recognizing that, like everyone else, we are worthy of kindness, patience, and understanding. It is about embracing ourselves fully, acknowledging both our strengths and our imperfections with compassion, rather than criticism. One way to begin is to silently repeat phrases of loving kindness, such as, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be safe," "May I live with ease." These words can remind us of our inherent worth and help quiet the inner critic that often dominates our thoughts. When we extend loving kindness to ourselves, we build a foundation of inner peace that supports our ability to extend compassion outward to others. This doesn't mean that we condone harmful actions or turn a blind eye to injustice. Rather, it means that we recognize the common humanity we share with others. Everyone has experienced suffering, joy, struggle, and hope. Loving kindness allows us to see beyond the surface of a person's actions to the underlying humanity that connects us all. With this understanding, we can cultivate a sense of goodwill and empathy, even for those who may challenge us or with whom we have conflicts. Loving kindness can also help us release resentment and anger. Holding on to negative feelings toward others can weigh us down, creating a barrier between ourselves and the peace we seek. When we practice loving kindness, we consciously choose to let go of resentment and replace it with compassion. This doesn't mean we must maintain close relationships with those who have hurt us or ignore harm that has been done. Rather, it is about freeing ourselves from the grip of anger and pain. Through loving kindness, we recognize that holding on to resentment often hurts us more than it impacts the person we're upset with. By choosing to replace anger with compassion, we find liberation from the negativity that can cloud our minds and hearts. Another powerful aspect of loving kindness is that it helps us develop empathy and understanding toward people we might otherwise judge. Often we see only the actions or behaviors of others and fail to consider the underlying factors that might be driving them. We may judge someone's behavior without recognizing the pain or struggles that person might be experiencing. Loving kindness reminds us that at our core, we all seek happiness, peace, and connection. By opening ourselves to this understanding, we can approach others with greater compassion, even if we don't agree with or fully understand their actions. One way to practice loving kindness is through meditation, where we visualize and send positive intentions to ourselves and others. We can begin by focusing on ourselves, repeating phrases such as, "May I be happy," "May I be safe," "May I be healthy," "May I be at peace." Then we gradually extend these intentions outward, first to people we love, then to acquaintances, and even to those with whom we may have difficulties. Eventually, we expand our loving kindness to encompass all beings, recognizing the interconnectedness of all life. This meditation practice helps us cultivate a sense of universal compassion, reminding us that our well-being is interconnected with the well-being of others. Loving kindness also encourages us to approach each day with an open heart. Small acts of kindness, whether it's offering a smile to a stranger, helping someone in need, or simply listening without judgment, can have a powerful impact on those around us. These acts may seem small, but they contribute to a ripple effect of positivity and compassion. When we practice loving kindness, we create an environment of warmth and acceptance that not only enriches our own lives, but also uplifts others. Each time we choose to act with kindness, we reinforce our connection to the world, fostering a sense of unity and shared humanity. Practicing loving kindness can be particularly powerful during difficult times when we may be tempted to close off or protect ourselves from pain. In moments of loss, stress, or hardship, it can be easy to feel disconnected or even resentful. Loving kindness encourages us to soften rather than harden, to remain open even when life challenges us. This doesn't mean denying our feelings or pretending everything is okay. Rather, it means choosing compassion as our guiding principle, allowing ourselves to move through pain with a sense of understanding and connection. As we continue to practice loving kindness, we may find that it becomes a natural way of being. We become more attuned to the needs of others, more forgiving of both ourselves and others, and more aware of the beauty and potential in every moment. Loving kindness is not a one-time act. It is a daily choice, a commitment to live with a heart that is open, compassionate, and resilient. Over time, this practice transforms us, helping us to see the world through a lens of love and kindness, a perspective that can bring profound joy and peace into our lives. In the end, loving kindness enriches us, helping us become the kind of people we aspire to be, individuals who contribute to the world's beauty through our own kindness and compassion. It reminds us that love and kindness are not resources that run out. They are qualities that expand and multiply as we share them. Through loving kindness, we cultivate a life filled with connection, purpose, and a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that we have touched others with a genuine and compassionate heart. Fostering self-reliance is about cultivating the ability to depend on ourselves, trust in our own judgment, and meet our own needs. It's a journey toward recognizing that we have within us the resources to handle life's challenges and to shape our own path. While we all need connection and support from others, self-reliance empowers us to face life with resilience and confidence, knowing that we are our own foundation. Embracing self-reliance means building trust in our abilities and our capacity to overcome, which leads to a deep sense of inner strength and independence that no external circumstance can easily shake. One of the first steps in fostering self-reliance is developing a deep understanding of who we are. This includes recognizing our strengths, our limitations, our values, and our desires. When we take the time to become self-aware, we can make decisions that align with our true selves rather than following the expectations of others. Knowing ourselves well allows us to listen to our own intuition and create a life that feels authentic. This self-knowledge helps us trust our decisions, even when they go against the grain, because we understand that we are acting in accordance with who we genuinely are. Self-reliance also involves taking responsibility for our lives, recognizing that we have the power to shape our experiences and our reactions. Rather than blaming circumstances or other people for our difficulties, we accept that our responses are within our control. This does not mean we can control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we approach and respond to life's challenges. Taking responsibility is a powerful shift in perspective, one that empowers us to act rather than react. By understanding that we are responsible for our growth and happiness, we cultivate a sense of agency and independence that strengthens our resilience in the face of adversity. To foster self-reliance, it's essential to develop skills and competencies that allow us to navigate life with confidence. This might mean learning practical skills like managing our finances, cooking, problem solving, or even cultivating emotional intelligence. The more capable we feel in handling the practical aspects of life, the more our sense of independence grows. We begin to rely on our own abilities and judgment, rather than constantly seeking validation or guidance from others. Each time we solve a problem on our own, learn something new, or overcome a challenge, we reinforce our self-reliance, building an inner reservoir of confidence that we can draw upon when future challenges arise. Trusting our intuition is another important component of self-reliance. Our intuition is that inner voice, that quiet sense of knowing that often guides us in the right direction. In a world that frequently encourages us to look outward for answers, fostering self-reliance means tuning into this inner guidance. When we trust our intuition, we empower ourselves to make decisions based on what feels right to us, not what others think is best. This doesn't mean disregarding advice or input from others, but it does mean giving weight to our own instincts and honoring the insights that come from within. The more we listen to our intuition, the more we strengthen our ability to trust ourselves. Self-reliance also involves learning to embrace solitude. When we become comfortable with our own company, we realize that we are complete in ourselves. We don't need to fill our time with distractions or constantly seek out others to feel content. Embracing solitude allows us to connect with ourselves on a deeper level, to reflect and to recharge. It teaches us that we are enough as we are, independent of others. This ability to enjoy our own company enhances our self-reliance because we realize that we don't need external validation or constant social interaction to feel fulfilled. Solitude becomes a space for growth, self-discovery, and inner peace. Another key aspect of self-reliance is resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward despite difficulties. Resilience is cultivated by facing challenges head-on and learning from them. Each time we encounter a setback, we have an opportunity to strengthen our resilience by adapting, learning, and growing from the experience. When we become resilient, we don't rely on others to pick us up every time we fall. Instead, we develop the inner strength to stand up on our own. Resilience teaches us that we can handle life's ups and downs with grace, knowing that we have the capacity to overcome whatever comes our way. Fostering self-reliance doesn't mean we must do everything alone or avoid asking for help. It's about recognizing that while support from others is valuable, we are capable of standing on our own. Self-reliance allows us to enter relationships from a place of strength rather than dependency. We can appreciate the support of others without feeling that our well-being depends on it. This independence enhances the quality of our relationships as we come together with others not out of need, but out of mutual respect and shared experiences. Self-reliant people value connection, but they know that their sense of self-worth and happiness comes from within, not from external sources. Finally, self-reliance requires patience and kindness toward ourselves. It's easy to feel frustrated if we make mistakes or don't reach our goals as quickly as we'd like. However, self-reliance is a journey that requires self-compassion. Each step we take toward becoming more self-reliant, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. Self-compassion allows us to acknowledge our progress and forgive ourselves for setbacks, knowing that growth is a gradual process. When we practice self-kindness, we encourage ourselves to keep going, to trust in our own journey, and to recognize that we are capable of navigating life with strength and confidence. In fostering self-reliance, we create a foundation of strength that supports us through life's challenges. We learn to trust ourselves, to act with intention, and to approach life with resilience and grace. Self-reliance isn't about isolation, it's about cultivating the inner resources we need to thrive and to make decisions that align with our true selves. It empowers us to take charge of our lives, to embrace both our strengths and vulnerabilities, and to live in a way that reflects our deepest values. Through self-reliance, we find the courage to be true to ourselves, to create our own path, and to face each day with a heart that is both strong and free. Letting go is an act of freedom. It's about releasing attachments, expectations, and control over situations, relationships, and outcomes that may no longer serve us. Embracing the freedom of letting go is a transformative experience that can bring clarity, inner peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. Letting go is not a sign of weakness or defeat. Rather, it is an empowered choice to free ourselves from unnecessary burdens, negative emotions, and restrictive patterns. When we choose to let go, we make room for new possibilities, welcoming the unknown with open arms and an open heart. Letting go starts with self-awareness. We need to identify the areas in our lives where we're holding on too tightly, whether it's a relationship, a career expectation, or even a certain view of ourselves. Sometimes we cling to things because they feel safe or familiar, or because we're afraid of change, but when we examine these attachments, we might find that they no longer align with who we are or where we want to go. This realization can be unsettling, but it's also liberating. It reminds us that we have the choice to release anything that no longer contributes positively to our lives. This act of discernment allows us to set our lives in alignment with our truest selves. One of the greatest benefits of letting go is that it lightens our emotional load. Carrying around past hurts, unresolved grudges, or unmet expectations can drain our energy and affect our well-being. When we let go, we free ourselves from the emotional weight we've been carrying. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or invalidating our experiences, but it does mean we choose not to let them define us. We can honor what we've gone through and acknowledge the lessons we've learned without letting those experiences keep us stuck. By releasing these burdens, we create space within ourselves to experience peace, joy, and fulfillment in the present moment. Letting go also opens the door to forgiveness, both of others and ourselves. Forgiveness is a powerful form of release. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the cycle of anger, resentment, and blame. This doesn't mean we condone hurtful actions or dismiss our own feelings, but rather we choose not to let these feelings consume us. Forgiveness allows us to release the hold that past events or people have on us. It helps us to let go of the illusion of control over other people's actions and responses, accepting that the only person we truly have control over is ourselves. When we forgive, we are able to move forward without the weight of past pain clouding our vision. In addition to emotional freedom, letting go encourages us to embrace life's impermanence. Nothing is guaranteed, and everything in life is in a constant state of change. Holding on to things that are no longer meant for us can prevent us from experiencing the richness of life. By letting go of the need for things to stay the same, we open ourselves up to the beauty of the unknown. Change becomes less frightening, and we become more adaptable, ready to embrace whatever comes our way. When we understand and accept impermanence, we develop a sense of gratitude for each moment, knowing that every experience, whether pleasant or challenging, is an opportunity for growth. Letting go also teaches us to surrender control. Many of us carry an illusion that we can control everything in our lives, from outcomes to other people's actions. But the reality is that control is often an illusion. Trying to control every aspect of our lives can create anxiety, frustration, and exhaustion. When we let go of this need to control, we experience a profound sense of relief and freedom. We learn to trust the natural flow of life, recognizing that some things are beyond our influence. Instead of trying to force situations to unfold in a certain way, we allow things to happen naturally. This surrender doesn't mean giving up, it's about having faith in ourselves and in life's journey. Letting go can be a practice of embracing the present moment. When we're attached to past regrets or future anxieties, we miss out on what's happening right now. By letting go of these distractions, we anchor ourselves in the present, fully engaged in what life has to offer. We become more mindful of our actions, thoughts, and emotions, allowing ourselves to truly experience the richness of each moment. Letting go helps us live fully, with an appreciation for the here and now, rather than getting lost in what was or what could be. This presence brings a sense of fulfillment and contentment that can't be found when we're caught up in the past or future. Learning to let go is a journey. It requires patience, practice, and self-compassion. We might need to let go of the same things multiple times before we're truly free from them, and that's okay. Letting go is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process, a commitment to ourselves to live a life free from unnecessary limitations and emotional baggage. It's about consistently choosing freedom over attachment, peace over conflict, and growth over stagnation. Each time we let go, we reaffirm our commitment to living authentically, in alignment with our highest values and desires. As we continue to practice letting go, we develop a profound sense of inner freedom. We are no longer bound by fears, regrets, or attachments that hold us back. We become lighter, more open to life's possibilities, and more connected to our own inner peace. Letting go allows us to embrace life with a sense of curiosity and adventure, knowing that whatever comes our way, we have the strength and resilience to handle it. This freedom is our gift to ourselves, a reminder that we are capable of creating a life filled with peace, joy, and the boundless possibilities that arise when we finally let go.